What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of Season 2, Episode 5 of Monday Night Mayhem. I am your host. I am back. My name is JT. If you haven't already learned by now, I'm joined tonight by gaming's favorite brethren. We got Bretsky back with us. It's first, I think this is your first Season 2 episode so far.
Shit, it might be, man. It has been a hot minute. I know we did a pre-recorded episode, but that won't air for another week, right?
No, that's going up Wednesday. That's going to be
this Wednesday. Sick.
This Wednesday, yep. It's that's not a Monday Night Mayhem episode. That's just we're going to call that a weekly special.
There you go. I love it. That's the Huevos Rancheros.
Yeah,
go get you some.
Yeah, that does sound good. Tomorrow's Taco Tuesday, so hey, it might be along for the ride on some Mexican food. And I do have some spots. Also joining us tonight, Carson is back with us. Carson's been here for every Season 2 episode. Carson, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people.
All right. Tonight, what are we talking about? Well, we're going to be talking about our exclusive games, Anti-Consumer. And a few of us played the Pragmata demo. And there was a Nintendo Direct last week. The third-party Direct, but, still labeled a Direct. So, of course, with that out of the way, let's get right into the mayhem, everybody. Go ahead, strap into those ergonomic gaming chairs. Grab that diet root beer, some diet chips, maybe even some diet cornflakes. Get ready to launch those games into overdrive for this week's edition of Monday Night Mayhem. Game on, everybody. And let's break it down with our first question from Zordon's outlet. Mr. Bretsky, would you like to do the honors?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. Let's hit it to it. Melvin Macaroni asks, overall in your childhood, what character bed cover did you own from what video game franchise?
I know for a fact I had at some point in time Thomas the Tank Engine, even though it's not a video game like franchise. But
does he have more than one video game?
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah,
that's a franchise.
All right, well,
counts.
Thomas the Tank Engine for sure. And then I want to say I had a Pokemon one for a little bit, but right around the time that I was like into Pokemon, like getting into it, I started to age out of like getting like bed covers for like video game characters a little bit. But yeah, I think those two for sure. I'm pretty sure we had a Super Mario one that may have gotten used by random people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I had generic ass hockey bed sheets. My favorite ones were a tie between these two, though. Another like generic non-video game one, but it was a bunch of like dinosaurs, but they were like doing different activities. So like there was a baseball dinosaur, a football dinosaur, a fucking ice skating dinosaur. It was funny as shit because like the T-Rex, he's got tiny arms, but he's holding a baseball bat, and like a Stegosaurus on ice skates. It was just stupid and funny, and I loved it. But the only thing I had that would have been like video game character, at least adjacent. Well, no, they have video games. Would have been Ninja Turtles. I think I had like 3 different sets of Ninja Turtles covers. Oh, and Power Rangers too. Definitely had Power Rangers.
I couldn't remember if I had Power Rangers or not. Yeah.
I had everything Power Rangers, man. That shit was my fucking jam. That first generation of Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin, it don't get much better than that. All the way up until like the movie, and then when Lord Zed came around and scared the fuck out of me as a kid. And then I didn't watch Zeo after that.
Yeah. I wish I would have like kept my Power Ranger fandom like going strong up until like the later episodes, but it kept switching networks where after Mighty Morphin, is kind of like when I started to fall out, because after that it like switched like networks, and growing up, cable was fucking cable. You didn't know what channels you were gonna get unless your parents paid for like everything, and that was
Right.
just not gonna happen. So
Yeah.
the later years of Power Rangers, I know it was still good, but man, maybe one day I'll just go down a lore rabbit hole of Power Rangers, like when I'm just doom scrolling.
All of them, all of Power Rangers is available on YouTube absolutely for free. So you can watch any of the seasons. I did watch Zeo. I go through this fit where I love to watch like season 1 of the original Mighty Morphin just as a fun little nostalgia trip every now and then. Sometimes it's just good background noise, and because it's just like Monster of the Week shit, which is always super fun. But I went through and I watched Zeo for the first time, and it was all right. It was, if I was a kid and I was like, if that was my first series of Power Rangers, I still would have been hyped as shit,
Yeah.
And like I might check out Turbo too, just because it still has like Tommy Oliver and Johnny Young Bosch and a couple of those other ones from the first iteration.
I really want to watch Dino Thunder, because I feel like that'd be fucking cool to like just go back to.
That one is what, like mid 2010s? That's a newish one, right? Or what? Or is it older than that?
I thought it might have been. It might be mid 2010s. I thought it might be either like a little before that, like maybe like 2000s.
You could be right. Yeah, there've been a lot of fucking Power Rangers, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
And even more Sentai, because I think there were like 7 or 8 of the Sentai series before they got to Zyuranger, which was the Mighty Morphin iteration.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go down this lore rabbit hole one of these days.
It's fun, man. It's fun as fuck. I love it. Sentai and Power Rangers, you can love them both. You don't have to be a snob about one or the other. They are both extremely, extremely fun.
Hey, the Ginyu Force are basically, evil Power Rangers.
There's definitely something pretty Sentai about the Ginyu Force. I agree with you there for sure.
Yeah. Carson, what about you? You got any childhood bed, covers or sheets or anything that had a video game character on them?
I mean, I'm about like you guys, where it wasn't anything from like a specific video game per se, but I want to say the only ones that popped to mind is I think I had like some Digimon sheets.
Really?
I think, like, I want to say for like a brief second, like I don't feel like I had them too terribly long. Mostly because I don't feel like my parents really did the whole like kid bedsheet thing. They just always kind of gave like normal sheets, and that might have been like one of the only ones. I might have had like Barney or something when I was like really little, or Thomas.
Yeah.
I know my brother had Blue's Clues when like he was really little, but I think it kind of hit a point where they were just kind of like, fuck it, we want a normal bed sheets, whatever. And we were just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
I got a question about Blue's Clues. Did Blue's Clues morph into Bluey?
No.
Okay.
No.
So different continuity.
Yeah, completely unrelated. Yeah.
Okay. Say less. That's all
They
I
did.
need to know.
They did do, I think, like a reboot of Blue's Clues and then like a spin-off where I think in the spin-off it's completely animated. I don't think there's any human people. And then they did like a brief like reboot series or whatever with a new guy. And I think on episode 1 they brought back Steve and Joe, and maybe there was one more in between them and the new guy. I don't know.
I feel like Blue's Clues should have been that thing that like it's like SpongeBob, where it should just continue to have legs no matter what, because it's so fucking wholesome.
Dude, I think it went for a really long time considering what it was. I think it truly did kind of hit a really good sweet spot in the time that it came out. And yeah, it's wild, man. The stuff like that is interesting on what like lands and what doesn't. especially in the realm of like children's TV.
I want there to be like a history book 200 years from now, and it's just about fucking 90s, 2000s, and 2010s media. And it just like goes through the evolution of all these things that millennials were into, basically.
If that doesn't already exist, I'm sure it will very soon.
Hey, if it doesn't
there was
exist,
a whole show about that. It's called I Love the 90s. They did it for the 70s and 80s too, and the 2000s, but no one watched that one.
yeah, it's a little too soon to do it for the 2000s. I feel like we gotta put at least.
Well,
like,
I mean, they were doing it in 2009. They were
Oh,
doing I
yeah.
Love the 2000s.
You're
Because I was in
very
high school, and I remember going to see my high school girlfriend and being like, what the fuck? It's 2009. Why are we reminiscing on 2008?
Oh man, hey, we had Obama in 2008. That was a good time. You know what else we had in 2008?
No, I don't.
I was
I'm
gonna
waiting on you.
I was gonna say the next question from Zordon's outlet.
Oh,
Okay.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Green Greg. Jesus fucking Christ. I was reading that as Gangrene Gang. Fucking Powerpuff Girls, bro. Green Greg asks, State of Play will be this week, and a new God of War game leaked. Are you dudes excited?
Based off of what I'm hearing about this God of War game, I will be excited if it turns out to be true. Apparently it's going to be set between 3 and 2018. So it's going to be kind of like old school Kratos before he had, a child and became like a good dad. And it's going to be kind of like shithead Kratos, where he's just like saying whatever he wants and killing everybody again. So if it's based off of that, I'll be all right. Not that I'm saying like 2018 and Ragnarok are like bad God of War games, but it's just it's not my Kratos. My Kratos was sleeping with goddesses, cutting the heads off of minions and Zeus. And
You just want to play that fucking vase knocking game.
Oh, that shit was hilarious.
That's all you missed. There was a vase knocking mini game in the new ones. You wouldn't say shit.
Yep. You're probably right. Yeah. But yeah, that mini game was so fucking funny. Like looking back on it. But yeah, I'm hoping they announce a new God of War. Sony needs a dub. This could be Sony's dub. Let's go. Will it into existence. While we're at it, let's get that Uncharted 5 as well.
Is that series is that series still like viable? Do people
Fuck
still
no.
talk about it? Oh, okay.
But
You're just
if they,
wishful thinking.
yeah, if they announce a new game, people will talk about it.
Maybe.
Hey, I can dream.
It has Nathan Drake, which it shouldn't, they would.
Yeah.
But if it's a side character, they don't give a fuck. I don't feel like really anybody gave a shit about that Lost Legacy game.
And it was a good game.
Which is not a bad game either. It's just it really should have been DLC or something.
Yeah.
Even though they released it as a budget title for like $40 because it's so short, I still feel like that's like 15 more than it was probably worth.
Yeah.
But point being is that they did do another Uncharted. It did not feature Nathan Drake, and I don't think it sold particularly great. I'm sure it sold fine just because it said Uncharted on it, but I don't think it came anywhere close to like previous numbers. I would love to know what did better though, that or the Vita game.
Oh, because the Vita
I would
game also
assume
never
that.
got remastered.
Nope,
Yeah.
because you really can't.
Right, because you need that fucking back touch whatever thingy.
Yeah.
The simulation station PlayStation Vita version.
I mean, you could probably do most of that stuff with the touchpad on like the PS4, PS5 controller, but like it's not. That game's fine. Like for a Vita game, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like I played through it once. I liked it. It was fine. But I don't think it's like it would be a worthy endeavor to port it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just that. It's just fine.
Because I also think if they would have had ambitions to port it, it would have been done by now because that game came out such a long time ago.
Exactly.
And yeah, I feel like you're probably right. That Uncharted Lost Legacy game more than likely did sell more than that Vita game. Because what did the Vita sell? The Vita sold worse than the Wii U, right? Like 10 mil?
I don't know off the top of my head, but that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I want to say
But,
like...
I mean, that's because Sony cared about it for all of 15 seconds, and then when it didn't make a shit zillion dollars, they dropped it like they always do.
Yep. It's so weird that they do that.
It's not even weird that they do it. It's weird how consistently they do it.
Yeah.
Like that's just their MO. Like, it's bad leadership, shit getting fucked up. There's a million things that you can point and say, like, yeah, that's bad. But it's very rare that you have, like, it's the same shit consistently for the last, like, 2 decades. It's not even like it's a recent thing. We were talking about this shit when, like, we first met in college.
Yep.
And fuck me, college was nearly 15 years ago now.
Oh, God. Why?
I know.
I just got a brain fucking freeze from you saying that.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, because, you know, we can look at even like recently, Concord. It didn't make money right out the gate. Sony dropped it 2 weeks later. Where I feel like if that was Microsoft or Nintendo, they would have sat on it for a little bit longer and said, we got to like try to get something out of this.
I don't know. Even if it was Microsoft and Nintendo, I don't think they would have let it get to the point that it was at. Like, Sony got taken for a fucking ride on that shit, man. I'm looking forward to the day that we get like a whole in-depth documentary, not some pissant YouTuber, like an actual in-depth documentary with like interviews with developers and people involved with that, because it's insane that it is the biggest flop of any media ever. Like movies, music, anything. There's never been a movie that was made for more money and lost more money than what Concord did. And that's crazy. And like, it's bare, like, yeah, if you're video game dorks like us, you know that. But outside of that bubble, it's crazy that that story just did not take anywhere.
Yeah.
And so I'm waiting for the day that someone finally gets to come along and actually properly explain, like, this is what the fuck happened. Like, we were going to do XYZ, or we were told to change this or do this. And I know that there's been some stuff that has come out about it already, which is kind of interesting, which is apparently nobody ever really said no to anything. And that's part of why there was such a clash of styles and shit that just didn't mesh well in the game whatsoever. But yeah, point being, I desperately want to know more. Like, I can't wait for the day that we get the full story.
I need to look up who worked on that and see if I can DM them on Instagram and just persuade them to come talk about it on Mayhem.
No, they won't. They've fucking long gone.
Yeah, that'd be awesome though. That'd be a hit. But because I'm with you, I want to know what the fuck happened to this. Like,
I mean, because I know, like, on the base level, like, the main people that were behind it basically were like, give us $400 million and we're gonna give you a hit, and then just kind of laughed all the way to the bank with it. And then the people that actually worked on it got fucked. But
well, PlayStation's new CEO Herman Hulse kept saying it was going to be the Star Wars of PlayStation.
That just proves my point even further.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Well, let's see if they announce Concord 2 in their state of play this week. And by Concord T, I mean Jade Raymond's Fair Games. So
yeah, I just don't. I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. Let's get to the next Zordon's outlet.
Well, Dickhead wants to know, what's a game that made you feel uncomfortable playing it due to its level design or artwork?
Oh, I got a couple for this. I'm gonna go last because my answer might piss some people off. By
Fair.
people, I mean Brett.
You know,
no.
You know what's one that's a little more recent that like it wasn't like uncomfortable to the point where it's like, oh, I can't play this, but it was like, damn, this is really unsettling. It's been a little bit, but that Nightmare Ned game that we played, Bretsky,
Oh, yeah.
that shit had some pretty creepy stuff in it with the like really surreal art design and stuff to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I really enjoyed it, but I can
Oh, I
see
did
where
too.
it's unsettling
But, like,
for sure.
Yeah, it was just it's, like even just thinking about it, some of the stuff that was in there was like, it's wild too. It's like this is a kid's game, but it's not like it was anything like bloody or gory or anything like that, or really even jump scares per se. But just some of how they use that art, the like juxtaposition with some of it, and really some of the shit that happens to that fucking kid. Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
That's kind of the one that sticks out in terms of like art design, at least off the top of my head. That's like not sat with me well. The one other one that does come to mind though is when I was a stupid kid. I don't know why. I don't know why this bothered me. But like I have loved to play fishing games my entire life. But when I was young, if a fish was too big on screen, it scared me. And I would like shut the Genesis off. Or like if I was playing on PC, I would I would alt F4 and just quit the game because it would like freak me out too much to keep playing. It makes no sense. The entire objective of a fucking fishing game, like no matter what the fishing game almost, is to catch the biggest fish possible. Yet my little 6-year-old bitch ass was like, oh, it's so big, it's scary. Like, you little fuck. I remember saying something to my dad and him looking at me and being like, you know, it can't jump out and get you, right? And he'd be like, well, yeah, but it's still scary. And I'm being like, okay. And he went back to like chopping onions or some shit. I don't know. He's cooking dinner. I just remember him like chopping something and just pausing and looking at me and telling me that. And then just being like, Like, it's about like the fucking line in Predator. Ain't got time to bleed.
Was he fucking crying in agony from chopping the onions, or was he just fucking like?
It probably wasn't onions. It was probably I couldn't even fucking tell you what it was because this was like I said, I would have been 6, so that's nearly 30 fucking years ago at this point.
It could have been fish.
See, the thing is, I remember it being around Christmas
because
it was a game that I had like just got for Christmas.
Yeah,
and I remember it freaking me out and running up front and be like, "Oh, I saw a huge fish!" And my dad being like, "You realize it can't like jump out of the computer and get you, right?" I'm like, yeah, but it's still scary. I'm just going, and just going back to what he was doing.
Oh man,
like man, that's one of the things that people like they don't anymore because they actually are, unfortunately. But used to, when I'd be like, "Man, kids are stupid." People would be like, "You're a kid once." They'd be like, "Yeah, I know. That's why I say kids are stupid. Yep. I was a fucking stupid kid." Man, not to get on too big of a tangent, because if there's one thing we never do on this show, it's get on tangents. But ooh, I made a horrible mistake the other day. Went down a small rabbit hole briefly that was talking about the state of affairs with education right now. Like, bro, kids literally can't read and they don't care. And it like fucks me up. Like, the kids now are so used to just being able to hit a button that'll read shit for them, or hitting a button and not having to like spell. They just say what they want to see and it'll pop up. Like, and it's I had heard that, right? I'd heard that and had always kind of thought like, oh, it's not that widespread, it's not that big of an issue, or like, oh, it's got to be like a fringe case or something. Because like everyone that I knew that does let their kids have like a tablet or something, they're really good about putting like limits on it, screen time, like can't use it for more than an hour a day, and can't download anything, can't do anything without like first bringing it to the parent to punch in a code or whatever. Like all this stuff, like everyone that I know that does it is very aware of what it can do and sets very hard limits on it. but that's apparently not common,
No,
like at all.
definitely not.
And like we have fucking high schoolers, like seniors in high school, that straight up can't read now, and it fucking horrifies me. Like, I remember being a kid, like in like the 2nd or 3rd grade, and like I was a dork, so I got made fun of other stuff. I never had problems reading, but I remember other kids did, and they got fucking bullied for it and like laughed at, like, you're an idiot, you can't even read. And now it's like these kids are like, yeah, I can't read, no one else in my grade can either. And they just say it so matter of fact, like it's like, oh yeah, it's no big deal, like whatever, like who needs to read? Like, oh my god, like even if we survive, what future do we have ahead of us?
Hey, that's okay. My
Anyway,
niece
so
can,
Donkey Kong.
my niece can run for president. Like, she knows how to read. She also speaks Spanish, and she's only 12. So, yeah.
Oh god, that's a whole other conversation. We've made these fucking kids grow up too fucking fast. Like, bro, our generation was like the last one that had a normal fucking school experience. Like, when I went to school, not to get too real, but like when I went to school, I was scared of a lot of things. But like, I never once walked into school and thought, yeah, someone could bring in a gun and shoot me today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that was like post Columbine and shit even, and that still never fucking crossed my mind. And now it's like, it's so daily you don't even hear about it anymore. That's how fucked up and normal it is.
Yep.
Like, fuck, man, we fucking failed. I shouldn't say we. I ain't got no kids, but as a nation, we fucking failed them kids.
Man, you're preaching.
Yeah, that was a little too real. I apologize.
Let's So about Donkey Kong, you were saying something, right?
Yeah, about Donkey Kong. Talk about the Donkey Kong.
Let's we almost went to a 9. Let's reel it back to, probably about a 6. For our viewers at
The
home.
question was, what game made you feel uncomfortable playing it due to its level design or artwork?
Jesus Christ! Don't ask me anything for the rest of the night. I got on a fucking tangent with that.
And I got an answer. To that question.
I would rather hear you guys' answers, please. For the love of God, I'm muting myself, so I'll shut the fuck up. Fucking smoke and let you guys actually talk about video games and not be depressing.
I'm ready, Brett.
There was, I have 2 that are just like top of mind. One was the first game that like really scared me as a kid, and it was a point and click adventure game of the Goosebumps Return to Horrorland. And I think it was just the nature of that whole click and point genre where there was always like static and looping ambient noise and stuff like that, and like occasionally a rat or a person would like walk across the screen if you just let it idle for too long. And so my mind, being as imaginative as it was back in the day, always thought that if I left that on, that somebody would like come to the screen and be like, "Are you still there? What are you doing?" And then like come through the screen and like suck me into the world or whatever. So that was my hyper imaginative brain, like just scaring the fuck out of me. And it wasn't a particularly scary game when I was playing it, but just like the non-game aspect of it was the thing that terrified me more. I don't know. I guess that's the best I can explain that sensation. Something more visceral though. I was scared to death when I played this game, but I just was in the mind space to play it when I played it, and I don't regret that. But at the same time, it's not a game I could probably play ever again with the same kind of experience because of that. Is the first time I played Silent Hill 2. And I knew going into it that it was a survival horror game, and I was at the time the only like horror game I really played was Resident Evil 4, and that's a little bit more of an adventure game at this point in the kind of genre. So first time playing Silent Hill 2 had me on edge the entire fucking time, and it wasn't like Pyramid Head or the mannequins or any of that like obvious stuff that scared me. The thing that was the most unsettling and terrifying to me was I can't remember what they call it. I think it's the abstract daddy boss in Angela's room. And the name of it being very on the nose because it's her sexually abusive father manifest in this creature, and the room has these slow thrusting pistons that just like go in and out the whole time while you're fucking fighting on these like fleshy walls and shit. And it's that was like, holy fuck, man, this is intense.
Yeah.
that was something that like really I really struggled getting over that part. For a game that's known for its that particularly difficult subject matter. So it was very effective. It was extremely effective in that.
Damn. Yeah, that definitely would have made me feel, very, very much like I need to go take a shower after playing this game.
Yeah.
Like cleanse, like you have to cleanse after that experience. Because I mean, I've had games like that where I've had to like play and like put the controller down, and I'm like, I need to go fucking take a walk or something, like get some fresh air, and just decompress all of that trauma that I just absorbed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's mostly Resident Evil games that have done that.
Yeah.
So
Going back slightly, was the Goosebumps game, was it Escape from Horrorland?
Yeah, it was either that one or Return to Horrorland. But yeah, it was. I think there's two of them.
Because if it's Escape from Horrorland, I just found a thing. I'd actually meant to send it to you where we could play that very easily on the show if you'd be interested.
Hell yeah.
I did not know, though, that fucking game, part of why like the full motion video and stuff in it looks so goddamn good, fucking Steven Spielberg worked on it.
Hell yeah.
And
Yeah,
at the
that's
end of
sick.
the fucking game, Jeff Goldblum is in it. And this is like 90s Jeff Goldblum. Like, this game came out a year before fucking Jurassic Park Lost World and Independence Day. So this was like
Prime
peak
Jeff.
him, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
like,
shit.
wow. I don't know that we would get that far, but this, I like just looking at the screenshots, I get it. This is, fuck my little stupid fishing story. This game does look creepy as fuck, even for like just as a kid's game. This is wild. I could totally see why this would stick with you.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like Evil Dead a little bit in some spots.
A little bit. Yeah. There's click and point games are interesting. I've always felt they have this great aura of unease to them. There's this other game, I can't remember what it's called, but it's you're this dude in like an apartment, and it's full motion capture. You're this dude in an apartment, and you get like, fucking witch doctor transformed into a cockroach, and you have to like traverse the apartment complex basically, and you like walk over a dead rat corpse and shit. Like it's fucking visceral, man. It's crazy. It's like a reimagining of Franz Kafka. It's crazy.
oh man,
I gotta look it up.
Like-
What the fuck is that game called?
that's fucking wild. I guess like for the two that I was thinking of aren't as intense, but one of them is really fucking funny because usually this game doesn't creep me out. But I was hanging out with Justice and Farmer one day, and Farmer's like, I want to play Doom, because he was just like scrolling through the games that I had on the Switch. And I was like, well, fucking play Doom. And this was probably one of the last times that I got really high. I was high out of my mind. And you know, usually in Doom, when you're killing the fucking demons and shit, there's rock music playing. So it's a little bit easy to like absorb like just these hordes of monsters coming at you. Well, for the part Farmer was doing, there wasn't any music playing. There was just grunts and screams of these monsters as Farmer was fucking wailing on them and just killing them. And me and Justice are just like sitting there watching the TV, just high as a kite. And I'm like, dude, you gotta fucking turn this off. I'm getting uncomfortable just hearing these fucking monsters just screaming at this point. He's like, yeah, it's about that time. So I think we just played like Smash after that. And the second game, I'm actually gonna go with Sonic Forces because that level design will make anybody uncomfortable.
Dude, you didn't have to upset me with that one. I've never played Sonic Forces. I don't give a fuck about that.
I was gonna say Frontiers, but then I thought about it and I was like, Frontiers definitely is not as bad as fucking Forces. Forces is just awful tier. It's like
I would have
one of the
given,
worst.
yeah, I would have given you Island. Is that number 3?
3,
where
yeah.
like everything just becomes like a claustrophobic 2D side scroller. I'll give you that for just being like ugly level design's not the right word, but limiting. It's very, yeah.
Because that's where I really started to have most of my problems with that game was when I got to Island 3.
Oh, dude, you fucking private DM'd me as soon as you were like, I was telling you, I was like, hey man, I'm this far. And he's like, dude, fuck Island 3.
Yep.
He's like, that's when I stopped playing the game. And if you enjoy it, then I guess good for you, but you're wrong.
Yep. Good old Island 3. They, you know, I'm hopeful that the next time they do that shit, that open zone shit, they look at Island 3 and everybody's just like, we can't do that again. And if somebody says we're going to do that again, they should honestly just, you know, go step on a Lego. Yeah, I hope their next fucking sandwich is cold in the middle. But yeah, those are my two. We
right on. Let's move right along. All right, what the fuck? This is a food. We haven't had a food question yet. Hill Yams Wrecked asks, cold cuts, burnt ends, brisket melts, patty melts, or chicken burgers. The fuck's a chicken burger? Is that like a chicken with a burger patty, or like just a burger with a chicken breast on it? That's a chicken sandwich.
Chicken burger would be like ground chicken formed into a patty like a burger and cooked. I
still call it chicken
have
sandwich.
made those, and they're pretty tasty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like if I here's the thing. I say that
I guess it's like a turkey burger. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I say it with hesitation because I feel like if I went back with my palate now and tried eating the chicken burgers that I used to make, I have a feeling I probably wouldn't like them because I don't know that I had necessarily made them well or good. If that makes sense. It was just one of those things where at the time I was like, damn, I did a good job. But it was literally me just like taking a bunch of seasonings and some barbecue sauce and putting that with all the chicken meat in a bowl and just mixing it all together and then using all of that to make like the patties essentially. But fuck, they were good back then, so I don't know. I know that I don't fuck with cold cuts or brisket melts really. Patty melts maybe, but honestly, I think in that entire list, can't really fuck up burnt ends too much. And when you do burnt ends well,
what's the difference between a Frisco melt and a patty melt? Is there a difference?
That's a great question. I have always kind of considered them interchangeable.
Yeah.
I think a Frisco melt is just a type of patty melt.
You just got to go to San Francisco for it.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm looking it up. Hold on. Here we go. On Reddit's got the answers for me. Let's see.
All right. Because that's a really good list of sandwiches.
It is. I'm a big patty melt guy. That's actually like if I had the choice between a burger or a patty melt, like almost exact same ingredients, but it's just the burgers on sourdough with the fucking onions and the Swiss and that Thousand Island.
Oh, that sounds.
I think I'm going patty melt.
Yeah.
I love patty melts. But yeah, I'm not fucking. Come on now, give me the goddamn difference here. That page wasn't loading. None of my pages are loading. Damn it, my internet might be down. Son of a bitch. Well, we'll answer that some other time. What do you guys? What says you?
I don't know. Like I'm still thinking about it. I guess maybe a patty melt as well, but I'm also like the brisket sounds really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, I think I'm going brisket actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I go patty melt, then burnt ends. I think those are my top two. I like all of them. I like chicken burger. Probably on the bottom, just because it's not something I have had.
Yeah.
Ever, if I can really even say that. I've had a turkey burger, so I know like approximately what it would be like. Cold cuts, just I like a good fucking club sandwich. I got none problem with that.
Dude, you can't go wrong with a really good club sandwich sometimes.
Right,
like when you get
know?
one that just hits the spot, holy shit, it could change your like whole inner world. I haven't had that in years, but man, just like thinking back on it and thinking back on the like greatest cold cut that I have had, I'm like, yeah, that really hit.
It's a good sandwich.
Yep.
It's a good sandwich.
I definitely think brisket
Go
and
ahead.
then patty melt though. That's my 1A and 1B.
Cool. Love to hear it. Yush Hairs asks, is Pragmata a contender? You fellas have both played this demo, correct?
Yes.
Pretty sure Carson's played it. He's on mute right now, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was pouring water. JT, give your takes first.
Yeah. So Pragmata, if it is a contender or not, I think so because I really, really liked what I played of that demo. I think for the small, like I think I put an hour into it because the demo does a really cool job of it makes you play the demo once. And then when you finish the demo, it's like, hey, you got a new suit. You could go back and play in the new suit. And I was like, well, I kind of want to see what the new suit looks like. So I played the demo again after that. And I was like, oh, okay. Like there's different ways the new enemies start appearing in the demo. And the game makes you kind of like go through. It's almost like each enemy is a puzzle. And I like puzzles. I like puzzle games. It's like the perfect mashup for me to experience that in a video game like this because it's also an action game, but because it does have like that puzzle mechanic where I'm blanking on the little android girl's name at the moment, but when she's doing her hacking mechanic, you pick up these like chips, which is why I think this might be like pseudo related to like Mega Man in some ways because there were battle chips in Mega Man Battle Network. There's chips in this game as well. So you pick up these chips and each chip does something different as far as like a status infliction on the enemy. So if you hack the enemy just right and you use that chip, like, you know, you'll slow down the enemy or, you know, they'll have like, you'll do increased damage, which I think stuff like that is like super cool in these type of games because it really makes you like, you know, be a quick thinker, a quick learner, and a quick adapter as far as like learning the combat mechanic of this game. I don't think it's one that's going to click with necessarily everybody, especially if you're looking for like a very much like run and gun experience. But I don't think that's what this game is necessarily trying to do. I'm also just really interested in why they're trapped in this environment on this space hub or whatever. Maybe it's the arc from Sonic Adventure. Who knows? Because they're just the demo just sets you up to where they're here. They've already been introduced. You just have to work together to basically get through the subsection of the space level that you're at. And then by the end of it, you fight a really giant freaking robot who charges at you like a rhinoceros. It was really freaking cool. And then you could do like an ultra hack on this big robot, and when you do that, it just completely like disables them for a set period of time. And then you like go in and like you really like start doing attacks and different mechanics that you acquire with the chips that you've gotten. Which I was just the whole time that I'm playing it, I won't say my jaw was on the floor, but my jaw was definitely dropping. Also because I was eating dinner at the time that I played it, so jaw had to drop. But I was just really I won't say like taken back, but I was just like, wow, this game is not what I thought it was going to be, but it's surpassing expectations of what I had for it so far. And that was just the demo. So I think by the time like we get our hands on like the full release of this, it's going to expand on doing something really cool. And I think it's going to be a really like interesting time to see what people in the speedrun community can do. Because if it's already setting you up, because it gives you a timer on how long it takes to complete the demo. So the first like go around, I think I completed in like 22 minutes, and the second go around, I did it in like 18 minutes. But every single time that I like played it, I was like, I can't get enough of this. April 24th can't come soon enough. And I know Zach wanted us to shout out the hovering mechanics in this game. It does have really good hovering mechanics. It feels really juicy to pull off that hover and not to just be floating and feel like complete shit while you're doing it. So A+ for me so far. I'm excited for this full release. And it is beautiful on the Switch too, despite what people are saying about the hair. If hair is your biggest drawback in a video game, you don't need to be playing video games. You got other priorities in life you need to attend to right now. That's my 2 cents. Carson,
Fair.
you are done gardening, you can give yours.
Yeah, no. I don't have a whole lot else to say. I find it really interesting, and I liked what I played. I'm curious to see if they can keep it fresh and make it not repetitive across an entire game, however long that might be. But what I played, I really liked, and I might be picking this game up. I haven't fully committed to that just yet, but I'm very interested in the final version. The only thing that really sticks out to me is being kind of annoying is the characters just don't shut the fuck up. But I do keep likening this to a PS2 game, and that is part of why that is a huge symptom from that time where, hey, we can make all these characters talk, but we're going to vastly underestimate how often they're talking, and they're going to repeat the same 6 or 7 lines. That's a PS2 game right there. But that being said, the actual shooting and the little like puzzle element that's in there, having to get faster and faster and faster at that, it's a lot of fun. I hope they'll be able to keep that up. I think they can, especially because Capcom, not a whole lot of misses really in the last, I would say, decade. There's definitely been some swings and misses.
Yeah,
you got Dead Rising 4. The PC version of Monster Hunter Wilds is still a fucking travesty.
Didn't they patch it recently?
There's some blemishes here and there, but brother, it's still bad. It's still an unoptimized piece of shit. It's rough. But regardless, I have faith, and the fact that this is something new, I really want to give it a chance. So, basically, I agree with the positives that you said. I tried it on Steam Deck. I know JT's tried it on Switch too. It worked very well on Steam Deck. I was very impressed. That's really about it. I don't have too much more to add, just because it was good.
It's running at a smooth 60 frames per second on Switch 2 as well. So that's actually our Mayhem game is the Pragmata demo. So the entire time that you have been listening to us talk, you also have the Pragmata demo running in conjunction with everything that we, have said so far. But I'm excited for this. I've been excited for the longest period of time for this game, since I want to say early last year when they were like showing it off and were really letting people know what style of game it was. And then there was all the crazy Mega Man fan theories that kept coming out, and I completely bought into it. And it just made me even more excited. Even if the game was going to be dog water, I was still going to pick it up. But like Carson said, we hope that it doesn't end up being repetitive, because I think this is probably, just from the outside looking in so far, it's probably like a 10-15 hour game. And yeah, they got to do more to like keep it up. And I think that's where those chips kind of come in to make it feel different when you do these, battles. And there's probably going to be armor upgrades as well. Maybe you'll get the fucking Mega Man suit by the end of the game. Who knows?
Also, before we forget, did you mention the hovering?
Yes. The hovering is spectacular. I do agree with Zach on that.
Our boy Zach, very specifically, excuse me, because he wanted to talk about this game a little bit, but like we said, couldn't make it tonight. But he very specifically wanted us to mention that he really liked the hovering, and I would agree. I was pleasantly surprised by how well I thought the very minor amount of platforming that's in the demo actually felt pretty good. Because I do feel like sometimes with those like third-person shooter games, you mix in a jump button in there and it can get really fucking messy really fucking fast.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that's played Max Payne 1 and had to go through the fire level knows what I'm fucking talking about. Jesus Christ.
I forgot about Max Payne 1.
Yeah, that's a deep cut right there, my friend. Max Payne 1,
Payne
the fire level.
While.
If you don't know, then you don't want to know. That shit is cruel. Just cruel.
Remember when Rockstar used to be the LeBron James?
Remember when they came out with anything ever?
Yeah. And now they
the last new Rockstar game was Red Dead Redemption 2, wasn't it? Like, if you don't count that GTA port collection.
Yep. Like brand new.
Like, if that's the case,
game?
Yeah. It's 2026. That came out in 2018. We're almost a decade away from them releasing anything, and yet they have more money than God just because of GTA Online and GTA 5, which still sells, still puts up numbers, and Red Dead Redemption 2, which to a much lesser extent also still puts up numbers.
Yep. Both of those games are consistently in the top 20 in Circana sales reporting. That's insane.
Here's the thing, though. GTA 5, a lot less so, and probably because it's been out longer, but Red Dead Redemption 2, not even trying. I still, like, even today, I still find out shit that's in that game that I had never heard existed, like, prior. Because there's just so much fucking shit in that game, and not all of it can be consistently triggered. Like, sometimes certain things are going to appear in other spots for other, players.
That's wild.
And therefore, you just won't even run into it. I ran in, like, the one that I saw today, not to get on too big of a tangent, even though I already made that stunt, but, like, no, there's, like, a whole cutscene where, like, there's a guy who is, like, quickly apologizing to Arthur, like, I'm sorry, I meant you no disrespect by sitting here. I'm leaving. Please, just leave me alone. And Arthur's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And the guy's like, nothing's wrong with me, but I don't want to offend you. And he's like, how the hell did you offend me? And it's literally the whole concept is that, like, the guy is a doctor, but because he's black, everywhere he goes, it's the Wild West. People are super shitty and racist to him, and they stole his wagon. But Arthur doesn't understand the concept of racism. So when the guy is, like, apologizing and being like, hey, I mean you no offense, please don't fuck me up, he's horribly confused by it because he's just like, why? I ain't done nothing. I ain't pulled out a gun yet. He's like, usually this is the part where like I've pulled out a gun and I'm going to rob somebody. They start begging off. So he's just wildly confused. And then when the guy's like, they fucking stole my wagon, even though I was helping people, Arthur's like, well, I'll go get your wagon back then.
I think I've seen that cutscene actually.
See, you probably have, and I hadn't. There's a lot of shit like that in that game, and each time I see it, I'm just like, damn. Like, that's really fucking cool, but at the same time, no fucking wonder they haven't put out anything in a decade.
Yeah.
It's taken a decade to find all the shit that's in the game still.
That is really cool. Also very fucking overwhelming for an experience of the game.
It is, but that's the thing too. I do want to say this, and then we can move on, because I know we're at our last question. But I feel like we need to remind ourselves, because I'm realizing this, you don't need to experience everything in a video game the first time you play it.
Yeah.
It's okay to go back and do the other stuff later, because I've been playing these older Yakuza titles and making a point to do things that I haven't done in my other playthroughs or the only one that I had done. Like, I went back to fucking Infinite Wealth and I'm doing a bunch of stuff that I skipped the first time, because that's another game that's super fucking overwhelming with the sheer amount of stuff there is to do in it. And I'm kind of realizing, like, it sort of gives your games a second life if you don't force yourself. And you don't need to plan it either. You don't need to be like, okay, I'm going to do this amount in the game at this point, and then in 6 months or 8 months, I'll go back and I'll replay the whole thing, and that's what I'll do. You don't got to do that. You don't got to do that. Don't plan for it. It's okay if you don't see it's okay not to 100%. It's okay not to finish shit. It's okay to skip things. It's fine. You can come back later in your own time. I want to throw that out there. I feel like there's way too much emphasis in doing everything in the very first time that you go through a video game, and you don't have to. You don't got to. It's okay. I promise. I promise. Crash won't think less of you if you only get 69% instead of 105.
Oh my gosh.
I promise. I promise. He might like you more because you'll have killed him a lot less.
On that note. Jeez. Oh man. On that note, let's get into our final topic and question of the evening.
The duck.
She whomped on my fruit until I whoa.
Oh fuck. Gosh damn.
When you whoa, and she keeps sucking. Anyway.
There it is.
Oh fuck. That was good.
The duck asks, should Nintendo start putting their games on PC and take the approach of meeting gamers where they are at, like PlayStation and Xbox?
No. Absolutely not.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh.
Hard fucking no.
Yeah, give us your reasons.
Because as foolish fucking people seem to forget, and I know we talk anti-capitalism here, but competition is a good thing. Part of why shit is so stale right now is that there is no reason to own an Xbox, and there's very little reason to own a PlayStation if you have a PC. Obviously, some of this is changing with the global landscape, part availability, pricing, etc. But we are going to assume that if you are hearing my voice right now, you already play video games. You are already plugged in to some fucking extent. Let's get real. Did you just kill Discord?
Me?
No, my cat. Cleo's walking all over the keyboard as usual. Anyway, you made me lose my train of thought, but you're cute and you've been sick, so I'm not going to get too mad about it. Anyway, my point is that part of why we need exclusives is to have a fucking reason to buy these consoles in the first place, and two, to actually promote
he got Batman. I think I know what he was going to say, though. You would need console exclusivity, basically, to push the industry forward. And competition is healthy. Just to expand on what Carson is saying, because I actually have two sides to this coin on this certain conversation. Competition's healthy, and we do need competition. We need a situation where there does need to be 3, if not 4 console manufacturers to really have healthy competition in the market. Because when you get that, it pushes everybody to be better. By Xbox kind of leaving the console market and them putting their games on Switch and PlayStation, it creates this incentive of why do I need to buy an Xbox for a lot of people if they already have a Switch or a PlayStation. 2, it doesn't inspire other developers to really go out there and make their best work, because now there's just so much more in the floodgates where you can get mediocrity from a lot of developers, and a lot of these studios aren't really striving for that A-tier game, because if they condition us enough to not get that, that's what we're going to accept. Whereas I feel like if Microsoft has the slate of games that they have currently, and those were, hey, this is only going to be on Xbox, you push a lot more people into that ecosystem, which can be a healthy thing, because then you have people who are really tapped in, who don't want just 1 or 2 consoles, potentially having every console in the market now. I was looking at the numbers a couple days ago of PlayStation and Xbox, how much Xbox has sold since 2020 versus how much PlayStation has sold. It's close to 93 million PS5s out there versus 28 to 29 million Xboxes, which that's a huge gap. That's a gap of 60 million people. And it's creating, a shrinkage in the gaming industry. But when you look at like the numbers on Switch, a lot of people on Switch, they don't buy the style of games that are available on PlayStation and Xbox a lot of times, because a lot of people have Switch as kind of like that secondary console, where they have a PC or a PlayStation as kind of that first, default console. I think the tides are changing on that a little bit. More people are buying more games on Nintendo's platform versus just having the other things as well. I want to say like the gap there is probably about 40 million, and it's probably going to be around that 40 million mark even as Switch 2 continues to sell more. But I think if Nintendo one day said, hey, we're going to start putting our games on PC and PlayStation, that'd really be kind of the what is that saying, the pot calling the kettle black. I don't know if it really hits right with that. Yeah. So it would kind of be a situation like that where you just wouldn't have as much competition anymore. Nobody would really like give a fuck. Nintendo probably would stop giving a fuck about, their top tier games, because they could sell tens of millions or more on PlayStation and Xbox. But at the same time, like, they're going to have to start pumping those games out at a rapid pace, even higher than what they have to do on Switch. And I don't think that's really like healthy for the gaming industry, because then the incentive goes, well, like, they make money off of their hardware. They're one of the only companies that really do make money off of hardware. If they don't have that money coming in from the hardware standpoint, the software is going to lack at some point. And I know that kind of like goes into like capitalism. And is it anti-consumer to be exclusive to one platform? To an extent, yes, it is. I believe so, because you are locking people into having to go pay for something else when they might necessarily not have the funds for that. Or they might not want to, sell their Xbox or PlayStations to say, hey, I really want to play this game, but I have to give up my other thing that I really enjoy to do that. And a lot of people don't have that mindset of, oh, I could just save up and potentially, make this purchase down the line. It's no, I, have to live paycheck to paycheck right now because we live in a capitalist society. Like, let's be honest. That's not realistic for me, not even in fucking 4 years, because we were so used to video game consoles going down in price. Well, now, 4 years later, we talk about them going up in price. That's insane. Um, but at the same time, like, I think if you just give everybody, the keys to the kingdom, no matter where they're at, you kind of start missing out on some of the things that make those experiences joyful, is what I will say. I know that was kind of like all over the place with that, but the core of the matter is we need competition. Competition does drive the industry to better places, no matter what it is, whether it's video games, sports, fucking fast food restaurants. You can't go to Burger King and get a Big Mac, is basically what I'm saying. Because if you could do that, what's the point of McDonald's?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there it is.
Yeah, I agree to an extent that you guys, both of you guys hit this on the head in terms of, yes, you kind of create this overlapping juxtaposition where is it an anti-consumer sentiment or is it purely a anti-greed thing, or are we stalling any type of innovation or acceleration in these markets when you don't have that exclusivity? Because it goes beyond the developers and like their bread and butter IPs, right? Like just because Nintendo has their Legend of Zeldas and Kirby's and Mario and all that stuff locked to that, to their home consoles, and that will most likely never change. But then they also have kind of these like ancillary primary IPs, and then you get into your third party stuff. Like I was just watching a short little clip talking about the launch of the N64 and how one of the big, I don't know if you'd call it a mistake necessarily, but definitely a thing that you can look back on and say, I wonder, with the launch of the N64, because they were locked into cartridges and they said, no, we're sticking with cartridges. Like our priority is the immediate multiplayer so they can have save the space and the money on the CD drive to do the 4 controller ports right out the gate, the ability to upgrade the controllers and the system itself with like the expansion packs and the memory cards and all that stuff. They wanted to focus on those things as opposed to the CD drive, and they and for other reasons as well, in terms of like loading times and processing power and all that stuff. But you had to buy the cartridges directly from Nintendo. So third-party developers had to do that. That was a huge turnoff for Square. And Square had all those Final Fantasy games on the Super Nintendo originally.
Yep.
And because of the cartridge thing, I'm sure there were some other pieces too, but the cartridge thing was a huge piece of that puzzle for them. They said, I think CDs are probably a little bit better because we want to do this we want these full motion backgrounds and this CD quality soundtrack that only CD can do for us. So they shifted to Sony, and the fact that you could buy those CDs for $1 as opposed to, I think it was like $10 for a cartridge that you had to buy directly from Nintendo.
Yeah,
was another. That's very expensive, and for a game that's going to be is going to be a 3-disc thing. Lord knows how many fucking cartridges that would have taken if that's even possible.
To add to that too, real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Another big selling point, especially for Square, the dev kits, if I recall correctly, like dev kit and license, Sony came in swinging super hard, and it was like $10. Like to develop
Yeah,
and get
it
your
was-
games on PlayStation
It was cheap.
unreal how cheap it was. And Sony was basically like, make sure it plays and run it by the ESRB. Whereas Nintendo, like, they were getting less hands off than they were on the Super Nintendo. It was less, and the N64 it was less, but they were still Nintendo to an extent. Like, that's why there's not very many M-rated games on the Nintendo 64, because like they still wanted that whole like quality control, or kind of quality control, but also just like giving the okay to like content or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Whereas that's like another big factor too, because like there's definitely stuff in Final Fantasy VII that was not in prior Final Fantasy games that are a little more racy, I would say. It's
And-
just I'm with Brett. It's a very interesting topic. I'm sorry to hijack his time, but
No, you're
No,
fine.
no, totally.
I do think it
it's-
is worth noting that like it wasn't just Nintendo shooting themselves in the foot. Sony also made that so impossibly enticing for developers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you have a tyrant over here that's doing like, you have to have a cartridge and the cartridge comes from me. And then you have this fucking like young hippie stoner in Sony at the time, basically, that's just like, hey man, $10 gets you an 8. Dollar joints, bro.
Oh, that's such a good
Absolutely.
comparison.
Absolutely.
Oh man. And
Anyway,
I think,
sorry, continue.
No, I think that just, yeah, there's just so much. There's so many pieces of that in terms of sparking that innovation and forcing people to make you want to come to the PlayStation ecosystem or the Nintendo ecosystem or eventually the Microsoft Xbox. You needed those games that nobody else was going to get to draw you to that platform. And is it cost prohibitive at a certain point? Like, yeah, absolutely. But there was also something that just isn't quite there anymore. And I mean, I know, Carson, you have like a shared library, and there are services that are still around, but not nearly, there's not the visibility and the immediacy of it, especially not to this level where when I fucking hate that we always have to do this, but the whole when back in our day kind of bullshit. But when we were growing up, the idea of going to your local, not even Blockbuster, you could go to a fucking grocery store. Most grocery stores had a little rental area, a media rental area with VHS, DVDs, and fucking video games. And I rented so many video games from my local fucking grocery store. You could even rent consoles at the grocery store. That's
Yep.
how fucking sick that was. You could rent a Nintendo 64 for a weekend or a week. You could rent a whole ass console and 2 or 3 games. Try it out and have, you know, yourself a little test run to see if that was worth it, or especially for the parents that are the ones that are actually buying this thing. That's a really fantastic one, especially for the ones that don't have that extra income to afford 2 consoles for their kid, or the ones that could barely even afford one. I know my parents were kind of in that bucket. Like, I was lucky if I got a console after I got a Saturn for one Christmas, but that was also like well after its lifespan. Like, I got that thing, I think, in like 97 or 98. So it was hella discounted. I got, you know, the 4-game bundle pack with it because it was just like, we're just fucking giving these things away at this point. Take it out off our hands.
damn, those.
And then after that, I was buying all my video games. So it was interesting. I just, you know, we don't have that immediacy anymore in terms of being able to try things like that. There is a good ecosystem for like demos and stuff like that, but you have to actually own the thing first. You got to own a Nintendo Switch to be able to try a bunch of game demos, which is cool. You can do it, but again, you know, just kind of hammering that point home. And yeah, I don't know if I don't always know if that's even the answer, because if you look at something like the streaming service industry, there's Netflix, there's Hulu, there's Paramount Plus, there's Peacock, there's whatever, there's thousands of these fucking streaming services now. They all have their own exclusivity.
Don't forget to mention Tubi.
Dude, Tubi fucking slaps. I love Tubi. The free ones are the best. Tubi and Pluto, no questions asked. Good as fuck. And the original programming on Tubi is fucking wild, and I love it. That shit is funny as fuck. If you want some good rage watches, watch a Tubi original. Like that's where the good shit is. Absolutely. But no, like you have so many of those options out there, and how much of it is good? Yeah. I know that's an objective question, but really and truly, who's pushing any envelopes in the streaming service industry? I don't really know. I don't have an answer for you, but it feels like not many, in my humble opinion. I think the biggest thing for somebody who doesn't really pay attention to that has heard of it through friends and my wife and just people talking about it in the world of the internet, and this has come from somebody who doesn't have social media anymore, but I can still hear it through YouTube and stuff, was Stranger Things. And that's only because so many people are mad about it. It's the only reason I've heard so much about that thing. But other than that, I've not really heard about anything that's like really groundbreaking or fucking pushing the envelope or whatever that is a reason to be like, ditch Peacock and only go to Netflix, or ditch. Most people are just fucking like, I'm going to do this for a month while it's got this show that I want, and then cancel it and then go to the other platform. Mm-hmm. And if it was that easy with video games and consoles, maybe people would do that. I don't know that, but maybe that's another conversation to be had.
I think that's what Microsoft is ultimately like trying to do. Is they want to get into that world of, because Game Pass is that. And there's a lot of times where I do see people say, oh, okay, this game's coming to Game Pass day one. I'm just going to get it, play it until I beat it, and then cancel my Game Pass subscription.
Yeah.
I did that a lot.
Yeah,
I would
me
get
too.
Like a 1 month, and that's part of why Microsoft totally devalued their shit. Like, Game Pass was a good deal. It's not anymore. But it was at one point a good deal, but it was severely undermining the value of the Xbox library. Mm-hmm. Like, I loved Indiana Jones. Maybe I'll pick it up on Switch too, just so I can actually own it. But like, that's the thing. I just played it through Game Pass. I played it. I loved it. Frankly, I want to play it again. But now that I think about it, they're probably going to want $70 for it.
It's I think
I'm willing to pay $70 again, but
I think it might be 50 or 60.
Shut up. If it's 50, I'll actually go in on that.
Let me look.
50 is a very reasonable price. 60, if I hadn't played it before, 60 would be acceptable. But 50, I'd go in on 50.
I'm looking for you. I could be wrong. I think Rebirth is 50 on Switch. But Indiana Jones, I thought it was coming in at a discount. Nope, it's not.
Oh, is it 70?
Yeah, it's 70.
Eat a dick. No.
Yeah. 70.
Like, it's a really good game, but like 70, nah. 50, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna wait on, is when it gets to 50. It's a Bethesda game,
so I don't know. The Bethesda games usually get discounted, so maybe when it's cheap. But I don't know. It's also Indiana Jones, so who knows?
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out this upcoming holiday season. That's, I'll put it on my wish list for a potential holiday sale. That's what I'll do.
I don't know. It's too early in the year for me to be like, yeah, the holidays.
Yeah.
They worked out last year somehow, but
we'll see this year.
Jeez.
Oh, God.
But I guess we're all kind of like straddling that fence of like, no Nintendo games on PC or other platforms, but also console exclusives do kind of like hold down the industry a little bit as well. Am I right?
No, but I was gone for so much of the fucking conversation that I don't know what points you have and haven't made, and I don't want to repeat any of them. So, yes, you're correct.
You got Batman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
no, I don't know. I think it's a tough question, to be perfectly frank. I again, rose-colored glasses. I miss the days of exclusivity because I do feel like it fostered competition, and it was always kind of fun to. So and at some point when you're a little shitty kid, it would be a bragging thing. Like your friend would be like, "Oh yeah, I got the new fucking Donkey Kong 64." I'd be like, "Oh yeah, well I got the new fucking Final Fantasy 8," and then they'd be like, "Oh yeah, well fucking." I got Beetle Adventure Racing, and then I'd be like, I'm sad now because that's a cool game. So, you do shit like that. But you'd still be able to, you go over to, your buddies' houses and shit, and you'd like, those are the moments when you get to share and you get to experience those moments and those different games in those little small capacities. And maybe sometimes too, maybe that's what made it that much more sought after and creative. The fact that we have access to everything at once kind of makes it boring in a way. Or at least it's a sensory overload issue where, like, I keep telling my fucking wife, I'm like, I really want to like start reading books again. I really want to get into it. And I have like 5 books that I'm like, I'm going to read all these books. And I haven't started a single one because I'm like, which one do I want to start?
Yeah, it does become a, yeah. I get that.
Yeah, and I'm the same way with gaming. Like when I'm looking for a new game, and I try to just go off of like the artwork and the first like intro video. Now I don't try to get too in the weeds with it, but there have been so many games that I've bought on sale and played it for fucking maybe even an hour or two, so enough to consider myself a wasted amount of time because I'm never going to play the game ever again. Mm-hmm. And that sucks. I hate that.
Yep.
I liked the limiting factor of exclusivity and the fact that I couldn't afford to buy more than a handful of video games every year. So, and maybe that's just a whatever, maybe that might just be a me thing, and that's fine if it is. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. That's why I kind of like kept really over the past, I would say, because when did I get rid of my PS4? Back in 2019. And I've really have stuck with this like Switch and Switch 2 since then. It's why I've come to like appreciate kind of just being a single console like owner at this point. Because I mean, it's the same thing. You walk into the bakery and you might have an idea of what you're craving when you walk in there. And then you get into the bakery and you just see, cakes, cookies, bagels, whatever else the bakery has, fucking fritters, danishes, and then you're like, dang, I got all this choice, but I can only have one thing. And then you leave the bakery with nothing because you couldn't make a decision because there's just so much available to you. Like, too much access can sometimes be a bad thing. I agree with that. But that's why when we're craving cookies, we don't go to bakeries. We go to Insomnia. Because they're only cookies.
There you go. Limiting factors.
Yep. And with that being said, fellas, this has been Monday Night Mayhem. Why don't you guys, tell the good folks at home what you got going on, where they can find you, what you had for dinner, and if you're going to get any sweet treats this week. Carson, let's start with you.
You can find me here most Monday nights, and you can also find me at youtube.com/expansionpack for Brett's friend Carson. I said last week that we were going to start up uploads, and then I got really busy at work, and then I forgot to. This week, we're back to uploading for realsies this time. House of Necrosis, me and Mr. Bretsky. Wednesday, noon central, youtube.com/expansion pack, youtube.com/expansion pack. For Brett's friend Carson, I don't have anything clever. This is the part where I hang up. Good night.
Oh, man. Oh, Bretsky, tell the good folks at home where they can find you, what you got going on.
Well, like the man said, Brett's friend Carson at Expansion Pack. We have episodes intermittently on Wednesdays when we have stuff to share. You can find me here on Mondays. I'm a little bit more sporadic lately, but when I do jump on, it's always a good time. But be sure to stay tuned for these boys every Monday night, regardless of whether or not I am here. Hopefully we see our boy Zach here soon. I know he is going through some big changes on his end as well. So a lot of busy stuff going on, but it's all good. It's all good. We get together when we can get together. And you can also check out my other gaming channel. That's Who Would Win Gaming. Every Tuesday and Thursday right now, we have Metroid Prime, the original one. My buddy Matt is playing through right now. That's a 2-player playthrough. My solo playthrough of Final Fantasy VII is currently on Tuesdays, but we do have Tomb Raider, the 12, I think.
Dang.
Series. We got the first game of that we got a couple episodes recorded, so that's coming in the pipeline soon. And then our finale, the disc 4 of Legend of Dragoon is on its way as well. So we got a lot of stuff in the pipeline there.
Heck yeah, brother. I'm excited for that Tomb Raider that you guys will do because I freaking love that game.
Dude, I forgot how much I love that game. Yeah, we started it up again. I'm like, fuck, man, this was a sleeper for me.
Yeah. I recently played through that because when it came to Switch, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta play it. Like that's a joy for me. That was one of my favorite games of that time. And the sequels are amazing as well.
Yeah, I never played the second or third one. I really should. Are those on Switch too, or
not yet?
Okay.
I think the second one, I don't know when, but it should be coming pretty soon. So I'll probably
definitely check that out because I really enjoyed that first one.
Yeah, man, such a good game.
Absolutely.
Well, with that being said, folks, you can find me here every Monday night. This week, well, I guess by the time you're watching it, it'll be the week after at this point because we are on a pre-recorded schedule. But stay tuned, like directly after I shut up because my state of play reactions are gonna go pretty much live immediately right after this. So we'll see y'all next week for some more mayhem goodness. Until then, stay safe. Remember to eat your vegetables, brush your teeth, and look both ways before crossing the street. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Good advice.